Alright.
Hey, what's up? Is it recording?
Yes.
Hey,
Oh, shit.
say what's up.
What's going on? It's episode what? 91?
91.
91?
Yeah.
I ain't that hyped up. I don't know why.
You just won a match. You should be hyped up.
But all that brain power he usually
Yeah.
spends, he just played. Y'all
fine.
just played 3 matches in a row.
Yeah.
Y'all played me, then played each other twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And then
So-
the last one we were like.
so right now their brains are simmering. They're chill. They're not gonna be.
Which is pretty good for this topic.
It
though.
is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we're gonna talk about parents.
Parental expectations.
Oh, parental expectations. I was
Yeah.
saying parent trauma. Like.
We did that. We
That's
did
too many
that
sentences.
trauma one. Anyhow, yeah, we're gonna do this one about parental expectations. Basically, what parents expect of their children. You know. All right, and we're gonna start off by, I guess, naming off what we think our parents expected of us. Go ahead, Chris. Since you know.
Alright, so my parents expected me to go to college and be like a teacher, fucking doctor or some shit. I don't know. Because I was like super smart. I was a tag, right? And then they came over here, well, my dad came over here from Mexico. And then my mom, she grew up from like little means and from struggle. And so they kind of made it so that I didn't have that kind of financial struggle.
Yep.
But we still had like a parent fighting struggle, right? And I'm not blaming them at all because they were young and I've done dumb shit. Everything happens for a reason, and the reason why things like you have to break those generational curses or whatever. And not every parent, not all parents are perfect. But you gotta look at the positive, and that's like with life or anything. But anyway, so they expected a lot. And I started to then they realized that, oh no, like he's fucking up and shit, like in high school. But yeah, their expectations were pretty high. Yeah. Just to be successful. Like by now, I think like when I was like 10, they were like, oh shit, when he's 30, whatever, he's gonna have his own house, he's gonna, be married, have kids and shit, and it's not necessarily like that.
Mm.
But I think they've understood that it's okay to have those like high hopes, but even if you shoot for the moon and you don't hit the moon, you be amongst the stars and shit. Like, as long as you
All right, Romo. What about you? What expectations did you feel your parents had of you?
Almost the same thing, but it was more of like they wanted me to be able to work, go to school, or go to school full time. Like my dad had no expectation of me going to college. The only thing he would tell me would be like, "How you gonna pay for it? And how you gonna do this?" Instead of motivating me to. He thought that would motivate me for some reason. He thought that with every dream that I kind of brought up, they were kind of like it didn't mold to his image of who he wanted me to be. He wanted me to either work full time or go to school full time, but not in what I wanted to do. Because no matter what idea I threw up to him, he's always like, "Why are you gonna do this? How are you gonna do that?"
What he went to.
I don't know. It never really was specific.
Well,
He would always
He was
shoot,
always-
shoot,
he
shoot
was
me
the
down and
pessimist.
never build me up.
He was always a pessimist. Because I don't know why. We still haven't gotten to that root in that relationship between me and him.
This fool could have said, "I want to be a grocer," and he could have said, "Well, hey, they don't get paid much. Why you want to do that?"
You're wasting your time. You're wasting your life. Because when I got my job at UPS, he was kind of happy, but at the same time, he was still being a pessimist about it and being,
It's not even a real job.
pretty much. I've been there for almost 10 years, and he still is like, it's still part-time this, and it's like, well, fuck, I work full-time, whatever. It's not enough for him.
Because they're different.
Yeah.
Our fathers are from a different generation.
And, but that was the expectation. My mom's expectation was me to go to college and do all these things, but...
Like cure cancer and shit? Or?
Yeah, and to excel to the moon and be able to, yeah.
Little Nicholas.
What they didn't expect was I would kind of wake up to it all and not like kind of just finding out in the middle of like when I was like 19 that college wasn't for me. I was too much of a smart ass still. I needed to live life and just kind of like
It's
let
also
that humble me
controlled
for
by
a
like
minute.
the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and shit.
Mhm.
So it's like fucking.
But to be realistic, I wasn't in the right mindset at 19 to go to college.
takes a lot of focus, man.
It did, and I had a type of attention span at that age to go. Now I have it where I want, now I want to go back.
Bruh, I would take like a class a year, and then I take like a year off, and then like it took me like 10 years to get a 2-year degree.
Yeah, I tried it too, and it's like if you're not motivated, it's just gonna be high school again, and you're gonna be wasting your time because you're actually using money to go to these classes and buy this shit, and if you fail, well, that's just your dumb ass losing money, bro.
Well, the good thing I wasn't like failing. I would take a class and I would pass it,
I feel you.
and I'd be good.
So
I
can tell you, like I said, from someone who went, I went like. Good. Try to go a full day, but bro, if you're not motivated to learn, you're not gonna integrate shit. Like right now, that I like learning, I'm into learning. I'm pretty sure I went to college. I picked some shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and you like taking notes.
Even just cause I need to know this to pass this class. Whatever. I'll figure. I'll absorb what I need to absorb. But back then, I didn't give a shit. I was at 19, 20, 21 even. Whatever.
So
you're still a knucklehead.
What were your parents' expectations of you?
Well, I feel like they weren't too high. My mom being that she was a single parent. I think she just didn't want me to grow up to be like an angry person at my dad or someone who always came up short and would blame his dad. You know what I'm saying? Or would blame situations. I think she did want me to go to school, but I think she realizes now that I tried it, and it wasn't getting me anywhere. They really just want to mold you into this person who just kind of turns into a little I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like you're an encyclopedia. You got a lot of information, but not much of it is useful. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even now, there's people who get their bachelors and then they can't find
work.
Wages.
Yeah. We've all seen those videos. You want to go to school and be a psychology. Yeah, good luck after those 10 years finding a job anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like the system is built like that to bring you down. You work so hard to try and become something, and then at the end they just leave you hanging. Literally, they don't find. There's not always ways that's integrated to where okay, after you get your major, we're gonna hook you up with a job. You have to do that stupid interning bullshit. It's I need to make money, sir. You guys just charge me.
Well, we're talking about those are businesses, right? Because I feel like educators, they go in knowing they're not gonna make a lot of money, but they're gonna make changes and it's good energy. Hope you would hope.
But that's what I'm saying. After those kids graduate, it's not really built so that they can right away integrate into a career. A lot of we just talked about, a lot of these kids graduate and they don't got shit to. They got this 4, 8, 10-year-old.
Well, what they ends up being is the good careers are the places that are not from college. You don't need college.
That's what I'm saying. So what was the point exactly? So it's almost like it's a game. It's almost like it's a game. Like I said, here, come give us your all, and then at the end we're gonna just beat you down to the point where you give up.
Did you get this paper?
And you just say, I'll take the first job. You become miserable. You hate your life. You become the average person. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like my mom, her expectations weren't too high, and that's good. That's good. I guess that's a good thing sometimes, right?
Well, you know what? One time my mom told me and my sister, she's I don't care if y'all work at McDonald's when you're 40, or as long as you're happy and you're not selling drugs.
Yeah, it's kind of how I am with O's nephew. Cause he's growing up. I give him not expectations, just how you act, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself to. Just going through school and just being public, period. Just being a good person.
Yeah,
it's not in the sense of being always nice, but just being that lovable person to be around.
Yeah. Also having limits, teaching them, because I didn't used to know limits.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Master P, but I used to let people use me and shit.
Yeah, going back to your previous podcast, character, that's something our parents should have taught us. Real talk. That's something all parents should teach us. Schools definitely don't teach you that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, schools just make you wanna reach over everyone, step over everyone to get to the top.
I think
it turns into a rat race, and then what happens in most
the highest GPA,
and then what happens in most careers, you're fighting for a stupid title that means nothing at the end of the day because you're still taking orders from some motherfucker who's higher than you.
I think what's happening right now is our parents are starting to figure out that the school system did game us because they're learning how all the shit that they thought that they were teaching us, they weren't teaching us, and while they kept our parents busy with work, their 9 to 5s or their 9 to 9s or whatever, working those hours for.
We're the latchkey kids. We were watching TV all the time.
Yeah, we were watching TV.
I was making an egg at like 5, 6 years old because my mom had to teach me how to make an egg because she'd be out working, I'd be.
I had to learn how to make ham and eggs, shit like that on my own, or I had to learn how to microwave shit or things like that.
Microwave.
Pizza, shout out to those little dollar pizzas back in the days.
Oh,
Tombstone, Minions,
pepperoni
fuck
pizzas,
out of here,
boy.
son.
Anything. Ravioli.
Red Baron.
Ravioli used to have the ones where you open it. And
I
I
never fuck with Chef Boyardee.
I couldn't do it either.
I couldn't. It was too fake. Tomato juice still makes me gag. Like that.
Yeah.
People who drink V8, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Clamato. I'm not into Clamato, bro. Why would you want to drink a tomato, fam?
I mean, it's healthy.
But
it does not taste good.
Right.
Yeah, I think our parents are starting to figure out that they thought that when we were taking economics and this and that, we were learning about how to pay credit or do all this other shit.
School don't teach you shit.
But they didn't teach us that. And I think our parents thought they were teaching us shit like that, and they never did.
Because they always change the curriculum.
Because be honest, like how many of our parents were really at the PTA meetings and shit?
None.
Right. They couldn't. They all had to go to work.
Exactly. So
in the rich neighborhoods were the
maybe then.
So I mean, it's like you said that they figured out that hey, the parents are never gonna get involved, so we can pretty much brainwash these kids, and that's what they've done. That's what they've done.
And I think a lot of these parents are figuring that out now.
Like you're starting to see all the reports of all these horrible books that teach pedophilia and gay sex, like graphic gay sex in children's books and children's life at the schools, fam. If parents were paying attention, you think they would let that shit slide? No, but like I said, they know that the parents are too busy trying to maintain that rat race life. You know what I'm saying?
And I think
they really pay attention
for the gram and shit.
That's probably why a lot more of them are starting to get caught, because a lot of our generation are starting. Well, our kin are starting to. We're teaching them, hey, talk it, say it, tell us, and they're exposing them because they're being brave and talking because we're teaching them.
We're realizing, hey, we're out here and there's nothing for us because we weren't taught anything, like we weren't prepared for a damn thing except to just become little drones, little robot workers. You know what I'm saying?
anything legit we learned came from our parents, and we didn't even realize it at the time.
I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
Like those survival skills and shit, like what to do, like. Hey, yo, you gotta, at the main, they're talking about the basics, right? They're get a job so you can always have food, a roof, do your good job so you don't get fucking fired,
I mean, your parents give you your basic moral basis,
right?
Who, as far as your character and stuff, because you kind of watch them from an early age,
sure.
Who they are.
For sure.
How you kind of perceive it is all on you. Like, you could make the basis of, you blame your dad on everything,
right.
Not y'all, but, just in general.
Right.
And that could build that to where you're always using that. Or where you realize that you just start fixing it and being like, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to build the basis of being a better character than my parents were.
Right.
Being a better person. Or have different kind of parental expectations. Because I think we all do when it comes to our own kids.
Right.
Yeah, but it's just how high do we set the bar for them is the real question. Because we want them to have expectations and be able to reach goals and whatnot, but where do we as parents come to the realization of what is too much for them to reach?
Right.
It's a balance that I think we all need to
we gotta
have.
be realistic.
Be realistic, and I try to be as realistic to my nephews. I don't mind y'all going to college, but I want to make sure y'all know what y'all want to go do before we go out to this venture.
Right.
I want you to still be young, but I want you to work still.
Yeah. I mean, if it's free, sometimes college is free. I mean, it's worth a try.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But I wouldn't hold them to that expectation. You have to have a degree at 24 or 26, or hold them to the same expectation as your peers, or as you watch your friends' kids. They're doing this, they're doing that. I don't care. My kid's alive. My kid's fine.
Happy, healthy,
doing good.
I have a cousin who my aunts and uncles who convinced him to go to university, right? And he doesn't really like school in that way, right? It's not easy for my aunts and uncles. I guess for most of them, except for my mom did okay. She got some college, right? But she had me young, and then they just went to the workforce, and then but I don't know, 3 of my aunts and uncles, they got their degrees, high degrees and shit. And so they convinced my cousin, who his mom, she didn't go to college either. You know, she's in the workforce. She had kids. She had him young. But anyway, so he listened to them. He went, and it didn't go good. He failed the classes. Now he owes money, and now he's like trying to go to Eastfield. And it's like, that would have been like, I mean, people would try to like I don't know. I feel like.
I got something to slide into that. All right, look, watch. This feeds off of that, and watch this situation. I know certain people that have gone to school, gotten that piece of paper, and now they're in a job that goes with that piece of paper, but they're starting to realize they don't like the job. They're starting to realize that, hey, you know what? Maybe this isn't what I want to do forever, or maybe even anymore. And when you hit that spot where, like, all of a sudden you're like, damn, look, my parents' expectations or my family's expectations have basically backed me into here. It's not a time to be bummed out. I get it. You feel like you hit some kind of corner, like you hit some kind of bottom. But no, first of all, you're blooming here. You have now realized, hey, maybe I should listen to anybody else about my life except me, because at the end of the day, that paycheck I draw, that drive to work, the work I put in, I'm doing it, not them. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You know, even parents that pay for your tuition and this and that, like bro, you're not doing what I'm gonna do. You're not gonna go and join this job and basically dedicate the rest of your who knows how many years of your life to this.
Right.
And I'm like, and you, some parents would like look at you confused when you look at them like, I hate this job. Like, you guys don't understand that I don't want to do this. They're like, we paid $50,000 for you to go to school, and you're gonna
it's almost like the whole feeling is not cared for in the older generation. So if you can eat and shit, fuck your feelings.
Yeah. So what I would say to those people who are in that situation, like I said, that you've gotten that piece of paper now, or you're in that job, or you're in school and now you're burned out. You're like, man, school isn't for me. This job isn't for me. Career isn't for me. Whatnot. Don't feel bad. You know, you have complete control of your life. Don't forget that. See, right now you feel a lost control because you gave control to other people. You gave you asked, instead of taking other people's opinion and just using that to try to formulate your own little thing, you went and did what they told you. Right. Based on their expectations, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Without even analyzing the consequences of this. Am I going to be happy? Am I going to want to do this? Do I have the desire to do this? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if you don't, that's okay. Don't feel like shit. Don't feel like, oh, I'm a lazy piece of shit. It's okay to go back to the workforce, a regular little part-time, and then figure yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, I'm blessed with a job where it is part-time. It's 5, maybe 6 hours max. You know what I'm saying? And I come home and I have a good amount of day to do stuff. I can contemplate. I can write. You know, I can sort things out. Like I said, if it wasn't for that free time, I would never have gotten the passion to learn again. Right. You know, in my early 30s. You know, how many motherfuckers can really say that? They're like, yeah, at 30, I discovered my love of learning again. I want to go back to school. Well, I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to learn what they want to teach you, right? But it's nice that I have a love of learning because, you know, right. and you know.
Well, I mean, that's what keeps a person young. I mean,
and so don't feel like it's all lost. Your passion, you still find it. You know, you just gotta look for it. Don't just say, oh, because school isn't for me or this career isn't for me, I'm giving up, or should I give up? No, first of all, you should never give up. You know, second of all, you're not an idiot. You know, this is learning. You're still a young person. You know what I'm saying? This is what life is about. You're never gonna get to a point where you know everything or make all the right moves, or everyone's always like, "Ooh, you're so cool, bro." You're gonna fuck up, but that's part of learning. You know, like a lot. Like when someone talks about wisdom, you got to remember, wisdom is just someone who's fucked up a lot and fixed it. You know what I'm saying? Gone back and done it again. It's not that, oh, they never fuck up or they're so amazing. No, wisdom is having fucked up but having gone back and figured it out. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So look. You know, if you feel stuck like that, and I know a lot of people who are in a situation where it's like, man, this isn't what I want to do with my life. What do I do? Well, go if you have to, drop that career, drop that class, drop that career, and go get a regular job. And like I said, use the time that you have, you know what I'm saying, to learn a little about yourself. Learn how it feels to work. Because you know what? Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to choose. Do you want to go to school and learn and probably get a career, or do you want to work 9 to 5, working, you know, clocking in somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Where it's not as... Well,
going to school is going to lead to that anyway.
But, you know, a labor job.
Right.
Like warehousing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most motherfuckers who go to school are going to be clocking in to Taco Bell or going to UPS or going to motherfucking, Home Depot every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There may be a handful that can be able to balance that just for
So once again, what I would say is don't, expectations should fall down to you. At first, yes, when you're a child, yes, you might need to be guided by the older people, but hopefully as you get older, hopefully your parents or whoever's around you has molded character into you to where like, hey, make your own decisions for yourself, because once again, you have to live your life. You have to wake up every morning and do what you and do all this stuff that do live your life. No one's gonna live it for you.
Right.
So fuck anyone's opinion, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Consider it.
I've had some family members like complain to me, like, cause one time I said, I like to live close to my job. They're like, ugh, you want everything easy, and I'm like, obviously I didn't reply because I know what they want. They're looking for an argument, right? But it's like that to them is something to argue. Like, yeah, because to me that's something smart.
Like, oh, you're better than me because you use more gas and you spend more money, you live farther away.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, you do you. But yes, I'm someone who prefers to live closer to where I work. Sorry, not sorry. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like
fuck your opinion, but I'm doing me regardless. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like
anybody be like, oh, they're right. I should live far away and shit like.
So yes, so parental expectations, bro. Like, yes, they can be a burden, but like if parental expectations are like like basically. Like in the right state, like not so much as I want you to do this, more like I want you to be a good person. I want you to not be a puppet. I want you to not be someone who. I want you to not be a manipulator. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be a piece of shit. I want you to be a decent person. I want you to be happy, and I want you to be.
And also don't make like dumb mistakes.
Yeah, like, we're all gonna make dumb mistakes.
Well,
if you're gonna make dumb mistakes, just know how to at least fix them, or at least.
I guess I mean like getting fucked up and like.
You mean, bro? That's not right. That's the shit that we did. You can't. You can't sit there. Your son can. You can't sit there and tell your son don't do the same shit I did.
I mean, you're right. I can recommend it.
Yes, you can do. Like, you can say, look, at the end of the day, bro, all that raw dogging, all that partying leads to really horrible shit. And I'm telling you, as someone who lived it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you do you. You know what I'm saying? But just having that support, bro, is good. Like, see, one of the reasons that I think I didn't go into all that stuff because my mom didn't really ever tell me. You better not do this, not do that. She's like, look, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust that you know what to do and what not to do. So you know what? With that, go do what you got to do. I don't need to babysit you. Mm-hmm. So, that kind of mindset, I always like, I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want my mom to lose my trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lose my mom's trust. You know what I'm saying? She has said to me, like, I'm not going to tell you not to smoke, not to do drugs, not to drink, but I trust that you know better. I trust that you know where this shit leads to and that you don't need that shit.
But it's basically her telling you not to do it, though.
Yeah. But see, exactly, in a very mature way, bro.
Yeah.
Basically letting you know, like, I know you're smart. And see, that's the thing. That's how you get to people, bro. You give them the lesson, but you put a little sugar on top. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I know you know, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Give them.
Yeah. That's the thing with kids, bro. If you hype them up already, like, you got this, bro. Like, yeah, I do. Hey, man, it helps. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah. How long has that been?
Dang, just do a song.
23 minutes.
Yeah.
You like that? Or you want to do a little more?
All right. So with the parental, we also have if you have.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about this. Okay. You as a parent, my nigga. What expectations do you have for your kids?
See, that's the thing. I have high possibilities in my brain. Like I know he has the, but I just want him to be happy and.
What if he's happy being an asshole?
No, you can't be happy being. I mean, I'm talking about karma.
Bro, manipulating people is so fun, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about karma.
Having a stable of hoes that you can just manipulate and have him do what you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, he's already 13. I think he's like.
I'm like Eddie Guerrero, bro. Lie, cheat, steal. You know what I'm saying?
I think he's already. He's a good dude already. He's a little. Dude.
He's got a good base. But see, that's the thing. The people with the good base are easier to corrupt sometimes.
Yeah.
You've seen it in all in every movie and everything, bro.
But he's not like I haven't hidden certain things. Like I feel like I've been honest enough.
But it's not you. See, look, it's like this. It's like in
but
the,
it is.
It's in the anime. It's like this. Like when the child gets trained by the mature family, it's not till he gets sent off into the city that the real test come. When he's away from the family, that's when
I think he's passing the test. I mean, because middle school is a rough ride, right? It can be.
It's not high school. It's not high school.
Yeah.
That's rough water,
pretty
bro.
Anxiety.
That's the drug use, alcohol use. That's high school is where it's at.
High school
is it's the what you call it the swamp. Nah, not the swamp.
But it's where everybody's high.
The place where dreams go to die. You know what I'm saying?
You remember that movie High School High?
No.
When the commercial that dude had, it was like making fun of like gangster.
Oh
high
yeah,
school
yeah,
movies where he
yeah.
had, like,
Those
the
parodies,
cars.
the parodies.
It was
Yeah.
a parody, high school high.
So is that it as far as expectations for you?
I expect him to be a good dude, a gentleman. I mean, I tell him little things like look people in the eye. If somebody's like a cashier, like tell him thank you and shit.
Like, he's a shortcut for how to look people in the eye, because it's hard to. But if you tell them just focus on the middle of their eyebrow right here,
Right.
people will say you're looking at their eyes. But for you, it won't be as intimidating as you're staring at.
Well, I
their
mean, you
eyes.
don't gotta stare at them and shit. Just
You gotta make eye contact, bro. I have to envelop you in my stare.
Because at some point it's like I can't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
It's too much.
Yeah. It's either we're gonna murder you. Like remember they say like it's
You either gonna
either
fuck me or you
murder
gonna kill me.
murder. It's like,
I gotta be able to tell from the eye contact.
it's like a blink.
All right, Romo, what expectations do you have of your chillins?
Your boys.
Yeah, what are your expectations?
Oh.
What are your parental expectations?
My parental expectations, like I've been watching since they were little wee babies, and I've seen the type of little men that they're becoming. And what I can see is that they're very kind-hearted. You know, they're very generous. You know, they can give to other people. That's all I expect from them. You know, that's all I
To
want.
continue
is
that those characters.
to be that person that, not to be the opposite of what you know. Yeah, I face the reality of them being that negative person, that asshole of a person. You know, that's very mean to other people and don't.
Right.
And they use excuses. You know, in a way since I did when I was younger.
I mean, the best way is to set an example in front of them.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I live a better lifestyle for them, so that way they know how to act, and I know what I expect. And they don't. They expect, yes, good grades, because good grades not mean in the sense you're very smart. In the sense of meaning you take care of your business.
Look, tell
And
them like
I never tell them that. Yeah, you got to be smart. It's like you got to be smart, but it's knowing and
You know
handling
what
the
you
business.
can do and just do what you can do.
Yeah.
Or just tell them like, hey, look, you don't like summer school, right? No, then you better get them grades.
It's pretty
bro.
much.
You don't want to
Get
stay for
them
tutoring
grades up.
on
Get them grades
Tuesdays
up.
and Thursdays. after
Ain't gonna
school.
be no surf and swim, bro. It's gonna be, well, let's go to school. Let's go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. They do listen to the school when they say, yeah, I want to go to college and do this. And I was like, yeah, it's a great thing to have, man. But if you're not ready for it, let's figure out what you want to do. Let's start going out.
I wish the schools would also promote, because they just promote the universities and there's kind of this like theory of, I mean not theory, but this
Critical race theory?
No, this because you know
This idea of you have to go to a 4-year university in order for you to feel like you're a success.
Well, yeah, they're all hooked
Right.
up with each
They
other.
never
You know,
promote-
They're all hooked up with each
they
other.
never promote the
And,
community
You know,
colleges.
the doctor wants you to get on the Pfizer medication. You know,
Right.
the schools want you to go to the university because that's what they get.
I let them use their head in the
But
sense
they,
of
they
like,
also never. The trade schools are good too, like cause
No, not
No.
all of them. Not all of them.
if you can't afford it.
I went to a shitty one that put me in debt probably for a long ass time.
What was it like? Electricity.
ATI, yeah. I went to ATI to be an electrician, electronic systems technician. But then again, I didn't give a fuck. It was a bunch of
Yeah.
It was like going to alternative school, guy, with grown-ups, bro. It was just a bunch of dudes, hustlers from the city that I don't know how they got stuck there either.
oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was, these teachers didn't give a fuck. They knew us there didn't give a fuck, and that's how it was.
That's funny.
So the only way to be successful like electrician is to know people that's already have their own business and shit. And they teach you.
I
Right?
would think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think learning from people who know what they're doing on the job
Actually
is
cares.
yeah. You know.
I have a brother who's got a.
I mean, but if you do want to learn it, I feel like, you know, if you have the desire to learn it, then yeah, you will learn it.
Right. But it's probably jacked up prices and shit. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
unnecessary
have a brother
prices.
who got a technician's degree, like a trade, for to
Like a
work on
certificate
18
or
wheelers.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to work on 18 wheelers. He took that, and he's made a pretty good living out of it. But he's starting to realize at the age of 36 that he doesn't want to do this for the rest of his life. Like he wants to do something different.
Right.
So
So what's he gonna do?
I don't know. He's been trying to pressure me and him to start a business together. But
Nah, just
Say,
tell
bro,
him
say,
that
bro.
you on your own
Figure
journey,
yourself
brother.
out and then
Oh,
come
yeah.
holler at me,
Everyone's
bro.
his journey.
it's not a bad idea from what he's saying.
Right.
But you know, I don't trust him right now with it.
What's up?
What's up?
Other
What's
cast
up?
member.
Let's-
Still like too new of a.
Yeah, it's too
idea.
new of an idea. We're gonna see where it goes. Let's see where we're at in the next 5 years or so. Because I have other expectations. I don't want to do that. You know, I don't
Right.
wanna do-
Right. Then just tell him.
But
Hey, guy. No.
Bro,
Bro,
you know how
seriously.
brothers and dads are.
Yeah, you gotta
they're
use it.
gonna keep coming at
Yeah.
you.
I feel like sometimes
But-
the easiest people to dodge.
to go back to the topic we were on, 'cause we can sidetrack. Yeah, I don't have I don't say I don't have very high expectations of them as far as like what the school system, what society wants from them. what I expect them to be is what they want to be.
Right.
You know, if you want to go and be an astronaut, go and be an astronaut. Go do whatever you want to do. Yeah, what I've taught them is from day one is enjoy the little things.
I guess pushing up.
Yes.
You know, don't think.
Butterflies. Look at the birds. Look
Yeah.
at the fucking leaves and shit.
And they have enjoyed every little thing since. I mean, they see all their little cousins. They get all these new things. They just enjoy the fact that they have something.
Right. And that's what you gotta teach them, bro. To look at the positive. That's the only thing is that you live every day like you appreciate the shit.
You gotta teach kids like, hey, don't be looking at no one else's plate unless you're looking to see if they need more. You know, never be looking to compare. Never be looking to say, cause you have more than me now. Unless you're about to share, don't be looking at no one else's plate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I want my boys to be functional men of society and not ones where they're drones and just being like, I feel like I have to do this. No, you don't have to do this. You enjoy doing this. That's what I hope each and every one of them find.
Happy functional members of society. Because I was gonna say drones are members of society that function.
But there's certain members of society that they enjoy what they do every day. They enjoy either you like say
they can separate
shop on and stuff like that, or
right. They can be in a cubicle and then do that shit until fuck that.
I mean, they just find enjoyment out of life doing that, you know, and that's just the different wiring on how we all are. There's certain people that enjoy doing that shit, and then there's certain people who fucking hate it, and they do it because they've just been taught since young.
For some reason, I feel like I was supposed to like be teaching kids and shit. Like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
And my expectation, I can't have expectations for those kids. I have hopes, the highest of hopes that they get and move on. And that's the same thing. That's all you can really do is have the expectations should be like limited, but the hopes should be high.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good to have. Just
You know,
a
my
level of expectation.
my expectations for my kids are the same for my students. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, like learn how the game is played. Learn how people manipulate. I'm gonna teach you that shit, but I'm gonna teach it to you so that you learn how to protect yourself from these people. If you're the kind of motherfucker that's gonna take what I give you and use it to manipulate other people, fine, you're gonna lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna have nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? I always say this. Once I teach you, once you know better, you better do better.
Even your kid?
Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna look, when you fuck up and sit there and say,
once you have a kid though, you're gonna forget them for everything.
no, but I can't because that's how I was made into a little brat. My mom let me slide for everything. You know what I'm saying?
But also,
I mean, there's a fine line, there's a balance. You know, it's like I said, I'm not hard on y'all all the time, but then again, I'm not always soft. There's a little balance there. You know, I know when we gotta get a little intimate, then we can get a little real. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the same thing with kids, bro. And if they pick that up from a young age, they're used to that. It's all good. You know, like if a little kid cries, I'd be like, bro, look, I can carry you right now, but you sitting there crying. When you stop, I'll hold you. They're eventually gonna get that after a few days, few
you're gonna
weeks.
be telling a baby that has. She's
See, but
they
that
can't even sit up. You're like, I'm not gonna hold you.
well, there's a difference. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? There's,
okay.
I mean, when there's like when they're babies, right? But like I learned from his kids, like when at like 1.5 and up. All right, I know that you're just like wanting attention now.
Yeah.
So now, and I'm telling you, bro, look, I'll give you the attention, but you gotta do it in a cool way. You know?
Yeah.
Holla at it. You know what I'm saying?
Ever since like day one with these kids, they've known there's one expectation I do have in this house, in my household. Though.
Respect.
No, it is respect of the household. And the one respect I have is when you walk into somebody's house, you don't ever just leave your coat anywhere. You don't leave your shit or your backpack wherever. You always ask the household, especially at our house, put your shit up in the coat hanging place where we always put it up at. You don't ever leave it in the middle of the floor. You don't just dump it somewhere. To me, it just the sign of respect to somebody else's household. I'm just not
Did
gonna
you get beef for doing that or something, or what's
No,
that's
just
pretty weird.
Just gets annoying.
No, my
Cause
dad.
I would always, they've taught me that from a young age too. Don't leave your shit everywhere.
My dad told me like whenever you put, like you're in a public place, right? You put your jacket on the thing, put it like that because it's dirty probably, and so that you're not putting the dirty on your shirt.
Yeah, your dad. From when you tell me your dad's a clean freak, he's pretty good at that shit.
Yeah. And he still got COVID.
Fully vaccinated and everything.
Vaccinated. He got vaccinated after he had COVID, but he was, masked up all the time.
But yeah, you know, like I said, there's times when you do baby your children, baby your students, this and that. But like, there's
Well, they're
also-
babies.
Yeah.
That's how you think you baby.
But once you know better, you know what I'm saying.
When they're
and
cognizant.
sometimes they just want the attention too. That they go do bad shit. They
Well,
go.
they're experimenting on what they can do, and you just gotta cut.
And
that
I'm
shit
talking
out.
about what I've experienced from grown ass people here. Okay, sometimes they throw tantrums just because they want attention. They want someone to go and tell them something, and it's like, you're a grown ass person. Remember, I deal with mostly
They
adults.
said, that's the thing. Like a lot of grown-ups are just like kids.
Yeah, bro.
walking around
You know,
with grown
and
bodies.
it's like, what do you want me to tell you? All I'm gonna tell you is the same thing I tell you all the time. You know better. Just picture what I would tell you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I would say. But at a certain point, I've yelled at you every day. I've gotten onto everything about you. Now you know what's up. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be after you all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then you wonder like the psychology of those people. Like, is that how their family is? Like, is that what made them this way and shit like that?
Yeah, it's habits. It's how everyone's raised, bro. Like so many people look at life a certain way. You know, like I said, we talk about stuff. You know, and it's like, damn, I never heard of shit like that. Yeah, so many people are just. So many parents are too busy, bro, to really do the whole teaching character to your kids thing. You know what I'm saying?
And you gotta be able to also, I mean, I guess it's kind of going into parenting and shit, but to learn from your kids, because your kids will teach you shit.
Mm-hmm.
Really, you'll be surprised what this shit.
Yeah, you know, like check this out. Like I told my boy the other day, I'm like, look, there's times where I see people having a bad day, and you know, it gets to you. You're like, man, what the fuck? Why is someone so bitching? But you know what? That's a reflection of something of you that you still need to deal with. So you know what? When I see that, like someone's clearly having a bad day, I'm like, you know what? That's something for me to work on. Thank you for having a shitty day and showing me that I need to work on myself. You know.
Yeah.
But the reflection I always want to give off is, hey, you want to be like this, don't you? So why you being the other way? You know.
Well, yeah, I just be like, I'm like, I hope their day gets better, or I hope they're okay or something. You know.
But
Try to be positive, say how you doing.
But I've always said, little kids, especially the littler they are, they have this giant influence. We don't even know, because they start crying. Like everyone all of a sudden wants to be like, oh, what's wrong? They feel that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why when you get those kids at schools that are unresponsive and that shit has.
That's why little siblings get used to throwing tantrums and being mad just to get attention. Just because they don't know how. Just because they, like the older brothers, we had to talk shit out. We're forced to learn how to talk our feelings out. But little brothers and sisters, they want to whine and cry and always bitch, and you know, and it's like, bro, I see it, and I'm telling you, that's the thing I've noticed about.
It can be, but sometimes, well, that's also because they get ignored. Sometimes,
yeah, they want attention, bro.
The first,
and it's like
we're the most loved ones.
Sometimes it's like, man, like
Sorry.
really, like do you just
Sorry, Ramos,
like, bro? I see it so much, but I was like, bro, like at a certain point, don't you want to grow out of that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like I deal with people who like.
It's almost like you gotta electrocute them and then shake them out of that shit.
But see, no, because you should know better. Remember, I don't need to be on your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the kind of kid you want to have, don't you? Like, I want you to know that, like, hey, you know what? That wasn't cool. I did that. I fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Hey, this is a pretty decent podcast now.
Yeah, I think I gotta bounce.
All right.
Much love. See y'all next time.
Peace.